Hey folks, Pastor Jordan here, bringing you this week's sermon preview from here at West Glenville Reformed Church outside on the lawn around the gazebo, which is where we've been holding worship, and we will continue to hold worship as much as possible as the fall approaches and the weather begins to turn. So this coming Sunday, we will worship outside. I just checked the weather. It looks clear. It might even be partly sunny. The only thing is it's going to be a little bit cold. So make sure you wear some nice warm clothes to come to worship with. Bring a blanket even and put that over your lap while you're sitting in your lawn chair. We invite you to come, bundle up, and be together in the presence of the Lord around the gazebo here at the church. As you can see behind me, it's right there. There's a driveway stake, and they're placed all around the yard, and so we're naturally distanced that way, so you don't even have to think about it. Just pick a spot and set up your chairs there, and you're all set to go. So bring chairs, blankets, warm clothes, and come be with us at 10 o'clock on Sunday. We ask that you park on the opposite side of the church from where the gazebo is and walk in as we close the driveway on the gazebo side of the church for foot traffic. So we're nice and isolated from traffic and all that. So you can come and join us. Just park on the other side, walk over. There will be folks here to greet you and show you around and answer any questions that you might have, get you set with the worship materials, all that good stuff. So come on over to church on Sunday at 10 a.m. if you can join us. If you can't be with us, we will be live streaming from outside. We've figured out how to do that. We think it's fairly well dialed in, and so you can join us right here on this YouTube channel if you are unable to be with us in person. So 10 a.m. Eastern Time, hop on here and worship online with us. Also, I wanted to let you know, Consistory had a meeting this past weekend, and they voted to hold in-person indoor worship on Sundays when the weather is not good enough to be outside, beginning in October. We like worshiping outdoors. The folks that have been here have found it meaningful and pleasant. So we're going to continue to do that on any Sunday that's not either too cold or rainy or snowy. But if it is too cold or rainy or snowy, then we will worship indoors in person, beginning with that as an option in October. So we will be publishing a video. We'll be putting out our plan about how to do that. We are going to be following all the protocols and recommendations to the absolute best of our ability to make sure that the space is safe. And so that will be an option for us beginning in October. So starting in October, there shouldn't be any more online-only worship services going forward. So that's exciting news. There will always be the option to be in person. We will always, though, continue the online stream. So if you aren't able to be with us because of distance or for other reasons, you can still always join us here. We've made a commitment to make sure that we are still worshiping online so that you can be with us that way. So that's all the housekeeping I think we need to cover for this week. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about where we're going with the sermon. You know that we are using the narrative lectionary. Our narrative lectionary takes us right from the creation story in Genesis all the way through to the end of the New Testament, and it covers the narrative arc of Scripture, that whole story of the revelation of God to the people of God. And so last week we heard the second account of creation, and we listened as we wondered what it means to till it and to keep it. What is that command, and how do we envision creation through living in the world every day? And so we thought about that last week. And this week we pick up with Abraham and his story, the man whose relationship with God kind of begins our narrative. And we're going to pick up Abraham's story at a place where he's dealing with an unfulfilled promise. See, he's received a promise from God that he would have many descendants, that he would be the patriarch of a great nation. And as many of you know, him and his wife, Sarah, are barren, and they're unable to have a child, and they're getting on in years. And for anybody that's ever struggled with that, it's one of life's deepest sorrows. And so Abraham is dealing with this unfulfilled promise. And so what we'll look at is what unfulfilled promises do you deal with in your life? And in what ways has something not come to fruition the way that you hoped that it would, the way that you have prayed that it would? Do you have those unanswered prayers, those unfulfilled promises? Do you have things where the Lord has promised you something, maybe just in your faith or through answering of other prayers, you believe in this promise from God that's just not coming? Or maybe you've dealt with times in your life where you've prayed for things and hoped for them and not seen it work out the way that you wanted. How do you deal with these things? How do you have in your life unfulfilled promises from God? And then we'll look at how God deals with that for Abraham. And I'll just touch on it briefly. The way that he deals with it is through the beauty, the wonder, and the abundance of the stars in the night sky. And so we'll look at what does that teach us? What does looking at the stars in the night sky tell us about God's promises? That's what we'll do this Sunday when we gather for worship. Whether you're here in person bundled up with us on the lawn around the gazebo, or whether you're watching from a more comfortable spot on our YouTube channel, however you join us, we are happy that you're with us, and we look forward to worshiping together on Sunday morning. May the Lord bless the rest of your week, and may you have a blessed weekend until we meet for worship on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. God bless. Bye-bye.